NASCAR isn't always about racing. It's not always about lap times, points, or trophies. Sometimes it's personal. No doubt, every move on track is a moment, but some moves transcend competition and pure racing spirit. Every driver heads out with one clear intention, and that's to win the race. But not all intentions are pure. Some are either carefully planned or set off by a wrong move from an opponent. And when that happens, there's drama, there's chaos, and yeah, sometimes there's intentional wrecking. Suddenly, the track becomes more than just a place to race. So, grab your snacks and let's get into the moments when NASCAR went beyond racing. Martinsville has always been a perfect place for drama. Tight corners, short tempers, wrecks, crashes, bumping, banging. It's all been common here. This little track has seen some of the wildest moments in NASCAR history. But here's the thing. This rivalry didn't start here. It all started at Kansas. Matt Kenseth was leading late in the race, trying to keep his playoff hopes alive. And Joey Logano, who was already locked into the next round, was right behind him. With less than 5 laps to go, Logano made slight contact and spun Kenseth out, erasing his shot at the playoffs.
I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
Fast forward to Martinsville, Logano was leading again, and Kenseth was multiple laps down, and he knew exactly what to do next. He gave the fans a clear sign of what was coming. With just under 50 laps to go, Kenseth drove straight into Logano and kicked him hard into the wall, ending his day and turning his championship title hopes into nothing more than a dream. The fans erupted, opinions exploded. Some called it justice, others called it dirty.
His day. I know what it's like to be that too. You know, some days you're the bat, some days you're the ball. It's never fun when you're the ball. So,
moving on to the next moment. This one's a bit controversial, but it is what it is. It all happened at Richmond. Clint Bowyer, driving for Michael Waltrip Racing, spun out late in the race, pretending it was caused by flat tires.
no, I think we had a flat tire or something. I mean,
But let's be real, it wasn't. And we all know that. That caution flag really helped his teammate Martin Truex Jr. sneak into the playoffs, but it didn't help for long. NASCAR caught it was a setup. The whole thing was part of a team strategy to manipulate the outcome. Truex was thrown out of the playoffs. MWR was fined $300,000, and all 3 of their cars were docked 50 owner and driver points. Even worse, the team's reputation shattered after this incident, and things only went downhill from there.
It was difficult as a conversation internally.
Back at Talladega, what started as a regular Cup Series race was about to turn deeply personal later that year. Carl Edwards was out front on the final lap, but Brad Keselowski was closing fast. As they exited turn 4, Keselowski made his move and Carl tried to block high, but Brad didn't lift. The two made contact, and Carl's car went airborne, slamming into the catch fence in a terrifying wreck. Keselowski won the race, and Carl had to settle for finishing on foot. Fast forward to Atlanta. On lap 41, Carl Edwards misjudged his line and ended up putting himself into the wall. It wasn't a big wreck, but it still knocked him out of contention. He spent over 150 laps in the garage, but when he rolled back out to win the race, he knew exactly who he was coming for. Charging down the front stretch, Carl intentionally turned Keselowski, sending him flipping into the air in one of the nastiest wrecks Atlanta had seen. Keselowski was okay, but the message was clear. Carl was done playing nice, but he wasn't satisfied yet. Just 3 months later in the nationwide race at Gateway, the two were fighting for the win on the final lap. Brad nudged Carl in turn 3, but in turn 4, Carl turned dead left, dumping Brad straight into the wall and leaving him in the misery of traffic coming from behind. Brad took a brutal hit, and it was really tough to watch. It was a moment that nearly derailed his career and pushed this rivalry to the limit. What happened at Las Vegas in 2022 wasn't personal, just plain ugly. Kyle Larson slid up slightly and made light contact with Bubba Wallace, sending him up toward the wall. Everything looked clean, nothing's intentional, but Bubba couldn't handle even that. As he came off the wall, he didn't stay focused on the race. Instead, he turned left and flat out hooked Larson, spinning them both out and even clipping Christopher Bell in the process. But Bubba wasn't done. He climbed out of his car, took a long walk toward Larson, and shoved him, not once, but multiple times. He even shoved an official, proudly showcasing his talent in front of everyone. It was a wild display of frustration and poor sportsmanship, a move neither NASCAR nor the fans appreciated one bit.
He knows that what he did was wrong.
He'll know that he made a mistake in the retaliation part, and I'm sure he'll think twice about it next time.
During the 2024 Xfinity race at Richmond, tensions boiled over between Joey Gase and Dawson Cram, leading to one of the most talked about moments of the season. With just a few laps to go, Joey got spun after contact with Dawson Cram, sending him hard into the wall and wrecking his car.
Hard into the outside wall. Real hard hit for Joey Gase.
The crash ended Joey's day, and he certainly wasn't interested in waiting for an apology. Instead of cooling off, Gase marched back toward the track, ripped off his rear bumper, and waited for Dawson's car to roll by under caution. As Cram passed, Joey hurled the bumper across the track, hitting the front of Cram's car, right near the windshield.
Maybe some other items out of it.
I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'm saying I understand.
After the race, Gase defended his actions, saying,
I just want to give him a souvenir and let him know what he did.
And while rare, this wasn't the first time a part flew in frustration. A similar moment happened back in 2012, when Tony Stewart threw his helmet at Matt Kenseth's car after a late race crash at Bristol. Okay, once again we are back to Martinsville, for one of the most talked about moments of Chase Elliott's early career. Chase was just laps away from his first ever Cup Series win, and a spot in the Championship 4. But bad luck was just behind him, Denny Hamlin. Going into turn 3, Hamlin drove it in deep and bumped Chase right in the back. The 24 slid up and slammed the wall. Just like that, his shot at the win was gone, and with it, his playoff hopes took a big hit. He didn't make a scene, just waited for his shot to teach Hamlin a lesson the right way. At Phoenix, he raced Hamlin hard and clean, but with purpose. He pushed him up the track, sent a clear message, and took control when it mattered. Hamlin couldn't recover after that, and his playoff hopes faded with every lap. The young talent proved he wasn't someone you could push around not without paying the price. Alright, this one's a bit but still impressive and wild to discuss. At Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, fans came to watch a Truck Series race, but by the end, they got a glimpse of wrestling, right on the front stretch. It was the final lap of the race. Cole Custer had dominated most of the day and was leading into the final corner. But John Hunter Nemechek wasn't backing down. As they entered the last turns, Nemechek drove in hard, made contact, and forced Custer off the track and into the grass. Nemechek crossed the line first, just barely. The finish went under review. Officials weren't sure who actually won. But while all that was happening, Custer stormed across the track, helmet still on, and tackled Nemechek to the ground, right under the flag stand. Officials quickly stepped in and separated them. It wasn't a full-on brawl, but the heat was real. Despite the chaos, Nemechek wasn't penalized and was officially declared the winner. What's your take on this? Let me know. And while talking about moments that went beyond racing, we can't avoid this guy. Right there. I don't know who he is, but I can assure you he's probably dreaming about his 3rd championship title. Maybe. But trust me, there's nothing sleepy about this next moment. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a place where tempers run just as hot as the engines, and when it came to Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, things boiled over. It all went down on the final lap. Kyle was running strong inside the top 5, but heading into turn 3, a little contact from Logano's car sent him sliding down the track. Kyle spun out, lost his position, and just like that, a solid finish turned into pure frustration. But things were about to take a turn. Right after the race, Kyle Busch marched down pit road, but probably not to shake hands. He went straight for Logano's crew. No words, just fists. He threw a punch. Chaos erupted, and both teams jumped in trying to break it up. In the middle of it all, Kyle walked away with a busted forehead and blood dripping down his face. The scene was wild. Surprisingly, even NASCAR didn't hand out any penalties. They let the boys settle it on their own.
Are you okay with Joey moving forward?
Everything's great.
really looking forward to getting in my race car and getting back here at Phoenix.
Speaking of that, are you glad that this is over and now you can get in the car where you're comfortable and get back to racing?
Everything's great. Really looking forward to getting back into my car and being here in Phoenix.
Joey called you this week. Is that a positive?
Everything's great. Looking forward to getting back into my car.
Good luck. Thank you.
Okay, there's a bit of irony.
Oh, there's
a bit of irony.
We all thought about it at the same time.
Because this morning we heard that Marshawn Lynch might be coming back out of retirement to the NFL. He was a big Skittles guy, right?
Right.
And what did he say? I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Late in the 2012 NASCAR season, tensions were already high between Clint Bowyer and Jeff Gordon, and honestly, it had been building all year long. Bowyer had made aggressive moves on Gordon multiple times that year, but it all exploded at Phoenix. With just 2 laps to go, and I don't know why everything always happens in the final laps. At turn 4, Jeff Gordon deliberately wrecked Clint Bowyer, and in the process, Joey Logano and Arik Almirola got caught up in it too, which might seem hard to believe, but there was a reason. Just a few laps earlier, Bowyer had bumped Gordon into the wall, and Jeff had had enough, so he slowed down and waited for a shot to dump Bowyer. But that's not even the wild part. As Gordon climbed out of his destroyed car, Bowyer's crew swarmed him. A full-on brawl broke out between MWR and Hendrick Motorsports. Although the fight didn't last long, NASCAR officials and nearby crew members quickly stepped in, broke it up, and Gordon was escorted to his hauler. Bowyer didn't even know the fight had started, but as soon as he found out, he ran in like he was late to the party. As he reached Gordon's hauler, officials were already there, and they stopped him at the door. After all that, Gordon was fined $100,000, hit with a 25-point penalty, and placed on probation for the rest of the season. They may have gone head-to-head on the track, but off it, Gordon and Bowyer settled their differences and built a real friendship. They've shared the booth, laughed about the past, and shown real respect for each other. Because racing brings the fire, but it also brings people together. And that's what makes this sport something special. Alright, let's not get too sentimental. Here comes the next insane moment. At Charlotte Motor Speedway, what looked like just another race night turned into an all-out post-race showdown, and once again, Brad Keselowski was in the middle of it all. After the race, Brad ran into Denny Hamlin under caution. Then he took a swipe at Matt Kenseth and even bumped into Tony Stewart on pit road, but Stewart didn't just let that slide. He threw it in reverse and slammed right into Keselowski's car. And that was just the beginning. The other two were waiting for their turn. Denny Hamlin was furious and chased Brad down through the garage area. They exchanged words and things got heated fast. But team members stepped in and separated them before anything more could happen. But just when you thought it was over, things exploded near the hauler. Matt Kenseth came in fast and jumped Brad from behind. They scuffled for a moment before crews stepped in to break it up. I mean, they got involved too. It almost looked like everyone was hugging like a reunion after years. But NASCAR didn't like this reunion, and they cracked down with fines. That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Just a new guy getting into NASCAR, so if you're into this stuff, hit that subscribe. Peace out.